Hey, thank you for tuning in to Instrumental Intel. I am your host, music producer Chickwood Beats, and I'm glad that you've joined me today. I've got an episode that's got music industry news, beats by me for your inspiration, and later my special guest, my big brother Shaun, who is also a music producer, artist, graphic designer, writer, name it, he's a multi-hyphenate. Is coming back for part 2 of Music Culture Conversations, so it's going to be a great time. Once again, I'm excited to be bringing this episode to you, and before I go ahead and drop that first beat, I gotta give a shout out to my home station, Grander Radio out of Grand Rapids, Michigan, and with that, let's go. back with the Music Biz Brief. First up, Sound Exchange and the National Association of Broadcasters, or NAB for short, have reached an agreement on non-subscription royalty rates, with the per-performance rate set to increase from $0.0025 to $0.0028 in 2026, rising by $0.0001 each year until 2030. The deal also shortens reporting deadlines to 30 days, it caps late fees at 1% per month during audits, and it mandates that broadcasters provide access to performance data from third-party vendors by 2027. This settlement aims to provide more stable royalty rates while avoiding costly litigation benefiting both broadcasters and the music community. Next, Spotify has teamed up with Dutch event platform Stager to enhance concert discovery, allowing event organizers to list shows directly on artist Spotify pages. The integration follows Spotify's ongoing push into live music, having previously partnered with platforms like EventTix and Skiddle. While Spotify scaled back its own ticketing initiatives, it continues expanding concert-related features, including personalized concert playlists and third-party integrations like Bands in Town. This collaboration with Stager will help event organizers reach Spotify's engaged audience and drive more ticket sales. Spotify CEO Daniel Ek has sold another $28.2 million in company shares, bringing his total stock cash out to roughly $778 million since mid-2023. He's been offloading shares bi-weekly in 2025, while Spotify's stock has nearly doubled over the past year, fueled by its first full year of profitability. Meanwhile, Spotify has been raising subscription prices globally, including in the US, UK, and other places as it chases sustained profit. Their controversial 1,000 stream rule may have cost independent artists nearly $47 million in royalties last year, according to Discmaker's CEO. New data shows that 87% of tracks on Spotify didn't meet the stream threshold to qualify for payouts, despite collectively generating over 14 billion streams. While Spotify disputed parts of the analysis, the numbers raised tough questions for emerging artists. The takeaway? Treat Spotify as a discovery tool, not a revenue source, and focus on pushing tracks past that 1,000 stream mark and look to live shows, merch, and physical sales to drive income. Spotify added 5 million premium subscribers in the first quarter of this year, reaching 268 million globally, a 12% year-over-year increase and its best first quarter growth since 2020. Monthly active users hit 678 million, with ad-supported users slightly down. Spotify posted a record 509 million euros, which is about $535.6 million in operating income. Though just shy of guidance, it brought in $4.4 billion in total revenue. Premium revenue rose 16%, helped by global price hikes and a 4% boost in average revenue per user. The company plans even more price increases in Europe and Latin America, but not the US. Also, Warner Music Group is suing cookie chain Crumble, accusing the company of using at least 159 of its copyrighted songs in promotional TikTok and Instagram videos without proper licensing. The lawsuit claims Crumble misappropriated music from high-profile artists like Dua Lipa, Lizzo, Taylor Swift, and Beyonce to build its brand, generating massive sales without compensation to the music creators. Warner is seeking up to $23.85 million in damages and a permanent injunction. This case adds to a series of lawsuits for major labels against companies using copyrighted music in social media marketing without authorization. Next, European regulators are officially investigating Universal Music Group's proposed $775 million acquisition of Downtown Music Holdings, following requests from Austria and the Netherlands. While the deal didn't meet EU-wide turnover thresholds, regulators say it could significantly impact competition across several music markets. Universal must now notify the European Commission before moving forward. Downtown no longer owns copyrights, but provides services across publishing, distribution, and royalties for over 4 million creators globally. Independent label voices have also raised concerns over the potential consolidation. In other news, Bandcamp is raising its default pricing from $7 to $9 for albums, and from $1 to $1.50 for tracks, but artists still set their own prices. The change reflects what fans are already paying and aligns with new chart eligibility standards from Luminate, the data source behind Billboard. To qualify for chart reporting, digital albums must be priced at least $7.99 and tracks at $1.50, among other requirements. Artists can use Bandcamp's bulk edit tool to quickly update their pricing catalog. Next, Splice has acquired UK-based virtual instrument company Spitfire Audio in a deal reportedly worth around $50 million. Known for its orchestral libraries, Spitfire expands Splice's reach into the $640 million plug-in market. Both companies will continue to operate independently, with Splice aiming to blend its tech-driven tools with Spitfire's rich instrument catalog. The acquisition comes as Splice reports over 350 million sample downloads in 2024 and continues to build artist-first AI features focused on creative support, not replacement. BeatStars has partnered with AI protection startup Surreal to prevent unauthorized use of its catalog from machine learning training. The deal includes a system to flag when BeatStars music is used in AI models alongside a dashboard for creators to monitor such activity. Approved developers will also be able to verify which tracks are off limits. And finally, Epidemic Sound has acquired AI music recognition startup Song Sleuth to launch a new service called Antidote, which aims to identify and recover unclaimed royalties from remixes, covers, and live recordings, a major issue in the so-called black box of music revenue. With a claimed 95% accuracy rate, Antidote combines AI and industry data to track music use across platforms like TikTok and YouTube, where Epidemic's sound catalog already fuels over 3 billion daily views. The company's focused on monetization tools that help creators and rights holders get paid more accurately in the expanding creator economy. Alright, and that's it for this week's Music Biz Brief. I'm going to take a quick pause for the cause, and then I'll be back with my special guest, my big brother, music producer, artist, designer, writer, Shaun. Keep it locked. Hey, I'm a chick with beats, multi-genre music producer and strategist to indie artists and labels. Visit achickwithbeats.com for resources for artists and instrumentals in various genres available for songs, vlogs, blogs, podcasts, themes, TV, film, commercials, and more. Once again, that's achickwithbeats.com. That's ACHICKWITBEATZ.com. Let's make something happen. Hey, thank you so much for tuning in to Instrumental Intel. I am your host, music producer, Chick with Beats, and I'm excited to say that I have my brother, Shaun, in the virtual building with me once again. Just for a little bit of background for the people who may have missed it the first time that you were on. But if you could just, let them know a little bit about what it is that you do, how you got involved with music and many of the other creative projects that you're a part of.
Oh, okay. It's good to be here with you again on this platform. You're doing a wonderful job at it. You keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you.
Well, I go by Shaun Don. You're a big brother. Our music roots go back so far because the family itself, everything, the root is Mississippi. Mississippi is the root. So, we had grandparents came from Mississippi and moved to Chicago for a better life, and then people brainstormed from there. So just the music is there. We got Chicago style, we got Detroit style, Kalamazoo, Atlanta, Memphis, because I've been just traveling my life, as you can see, through all the states that I've stayed in, and so I've adapted to a lot of things. And the music has just always been a passion. Like I said, it runs in our family. Our father loves music. We love music and movies as well. Me and, of course, my siblings, we talk about it. Podcast still coming soon.
Yes. We looking at you, Bree.
Right. And so music always been there. Poetry was first. Now I used to use poetry just for fun, but didn't know that I actually had a talent in it. Then turned it into music and started rapping. And music has such a big effect that it's passed on to the other generations. Because my little brother Mike, he had 2 projects. I sent you those I think last week. Nephews. Quan, GFM maintain, may rest in peace. He was following his music passion before he passed, and we turned the music into, our family thing, which was GFM, God, Family, and Money, which started with us. We breathe that, you know what I'm saying? And all the family members, they love it. I'm talking about mothers, aunties, everybody go off GFM, God, Family, and Money, in that order. That's what we believe in. So that was the name of the first project when I started rhyming. Then from there, it went to clothing. So we had clothing lines, Trench Baby. And then I ended up having to change the name to, I had to create another name because Trench Baby was already taken trademark-wise. So I changed it to one I came up with called Soft White. So Soft White, we booming Soft White, jogging suits, shirts, hoodies, everything. Then I get a cease and desist letter from Off-White.
Oh, wow.
Right. So, so I get that. I'm like, okay, we doing this good. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So my lawyer was like, we could fight it. I said, I'm not going to win that fight. I don't have the money that Off-White has. Why would I even try to battle them for a name? And, they got a platform with, Virgil as the originator, may he rest in peace. And he did a lot of major things and they still doing good. So I had to find another name. So now the clothing line is Lux de Gouttiere, which means gutter luxury. So it's, I seen some things so you can see what we got, and I seen you some items too. So that's what's going on with clothing and fashion has a lot to do with music. They run together. Yeah. So because just like, and when you're dealing with like movies, because we like movies and TV shows as well. When you look at a movie, you looking at the fashion and the music.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So all of that runs together. and we went to go see Sinners on Sunday on Easter, and it was a great movie. So if you hadn't seen it, sis, that's one to go see. He did his thing on that. Ryan did his thing on that movie.
Okay, that's definitely the plan. But yeah, you're right about how involved fashion, is with it. I can think of, especially coming up younger, my influential years and whatnot, watching
Mm-hmm.
music videos and just, kind of emulating some of the stuff like, ooh, I like that. Ooh, getting kind of into it. Like to this day, I still love me some Tims, a good variety of them.
Yeah,
I had asked my family once before. I'm like, how many Tims is too much for a non-New Yorker to have?
never gonna have enough Tim.
Right? Yeah, I love them. But yeah, most of that came from coming up watching hip hop videos and stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
It's a trip. Yeah, because like if you look back, like anything like Nas, Eric Ben
yeah,
Rakim, LL Cool J, TLC, Jermaine Dupri, just
yeah.
just how the styles are and what they're wearing. That makes a big difference.
Yeah, it really does. And I even went through my little phase at one point where I had like the silk Looney Tunes boxers showing over my
Oh yeah.
bodysuit, like Aaliyah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, music and fashion really do go hand in hand.
They do. They do.
Absolutely. So yeah, it sucks that you had to kind of switch stuff up, but congratulations on doing so well that you were catching attention. That's really awesome. It
Yeah,
might have felt like that at first, but that's
yeah.
really great.
I looked at it, it was like a learning thing, and I was like, I was flattered actually, really, if you look at it.
Yeah.
And yeah, and I probably would have been a fool to fight it too. That'd been like a waste of money. I could take that 20,000-30,000 on something else. With of course, it probably cost more than that, but we talking about a retainer fee. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But for somebody that's as creative as you are, it makes more sense to just kind of move to the next thing because it's not like you got a shortage of ideas.
Exactly. Yeah, that's like I've been going mad ham on designs. I think like over this I just took a break this month. Well, I say like the last 3 weeks, I hadn't been doing any designs because like I was on the thing like 3 months straight. I came up with like 115 different designs.
Wow.
Yes.
Man.
Yes, 115 designs.
Well, congratulations. I really wish that I had the talent for visual artistry as well. I only
Wow.
got it sonically. That's it.
That's okay. We'll make that work. I'm telling
Yeah.
you, we'll make that work.
All right. Well, yeah. So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
You recently released a new project. I'd like to talk a little bit about that.
Okay.
How you, well, I don't want to spoil it before you get into it.
Go ahead.
But yeah, the one that you sent where you took some of your old songs and
Oh, okay.
reworked them for R&B.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The Dirty Alternative.
Yeah, the Dirty Alternative, and that name just popped in my head because like I was like listening to my old music, and I always said Dirty Streets. You know what I'm saying? I spelled dirty with a U, so it just was, and that's also what I gave my brother. That was my little brother's first rap name. His name was Dirty Mike. So he changed it now, but that's what he was when he first came out. But yeah, dirty is just a term that I use because we're down south and because the streets are evil. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They could be real bad, especially in certain areas. Because everybody don't have it. Silver spoon. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
you got people that's in the hood, and that's what my music is for. Because that's where I came from. I was poor and didn't even know it till I got older. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
Yeah.
okay, we was poor.
Yeah.
And so it just popped in my head like, okay, Dirty Alternative, then the GFM project, because that was the original project that goes back a long time to like my nephew worked on that project with me, and he was 12 at the time, and he will be, I think, 33 this year.
Wow.
Yeah, I think he'll be 33 this year.
Okay.
And but yeah, it just popped in my head one day. My mind, it moves a lot, and I just thought how would it sound, for me to change it to a R&B flow, kind of what I call it, like a trap rap neo soul.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that's how I grasped the concept. You know, and just went with it and just had songs that I had already wrote, and I may have used a verse or two from those and did the hooks, and then I did some original ones as well, and put those together like I say real quick, because poetry, it just flows, and if I just sit up long enough, I can come up with something real quick. So, and I came up with other original ideas and made those into songs as well.
Okay. Yeah, because I know I got kind of hyped when you sent them. Like, man, I want to put this in the car and ride around with it right now. Like,
I
just kind of
appreciate
had those vibes to it. And
it.
yeah, I've been kind of enjoying those types of blends lately.
Okay.
You know how people been doing and I'm kind of late to it, I think, just because I'm not that much of a TikTok user, but
Mm-hmm.
more so recently, I've been trying to get into it a little bit more.
To
And
keep.
yeah, and so what's the terminology, the YN
Yeah.
R&B, so like
Yes.
where they turn
Yes.
and like make it a little gangster, like with the classic, either 80s,
Yeah.
90s tracks. I'm like, no, I'm kind of
Yeah.
feeling this though, but yeah,
Mm-hmm.
a little bit of nostalgia with a freshness to it.
Yeah, with a freshness to it.
Yeah, no, definitely digging that. So, okay, you know what? We didn't really talk that much about poetry the last time.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any chance, I'm not like asking you to recite it or nothing, but is there any chance you remember like some of your early poetry
I,
and like when you think about it, how much you may have changed like since then?
I think, well, I can't remember a thing. What, but like how I did it, I'm gonna tell the truth where I started. It had something to do with girls.
Mm.
So my thing was when I was in junior high, and back then you on the phone all night, sneaking on the phone, talking low, cover over your head, hoping your mom don't come in the room and blast you out while you on the phone. And what else? The um don't go to sleep first thing, you know what I'm saying? You sleep
Yeah.
it, all that, So it just started off like that with me, talking to a young lady and then be like, I'm into this and write me something and I write her something real quick. And truthfully, like it really wasn't anything to think about. It just flows out. So it's like write something real quick and tell it to them and they was loving it. So that's where it started from.
Okay.
Yeah, it's funny actually.
Yeah, yeah. It was like nostalgic feeling, like the chords before cordlesses and stuff got popular, trying to pull it through the door. And,
Yeah, things like that. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I'm that old. Yep, I'm that old.
yeah. Oh, dang! I didn't mean to date myself like that either.
But that's the truth. Yeah.
Yeah,
But go ahead.
yeah. I was just kind of thinking about some of my early stuff. Like I actually called myself writing a song
Okay.
in elementary.
Oh, okay.
And I do kind of remember like pieces of it, because I think I had actually started with my girl cousins on my mom's side at first,
Okay.
but then kind of started branching off on my own. And I don't really remember a whole lot about it, but I just remember like if it had have actually been recorded, how embarrassed I probably would be today. But it's
we
like you got to start somewhere.
You gotta start from somewhere. And
Yeah.
another thing I learned, don't forget what you thinking about. But I had to say this: we can never give up on ourselves, and we always a lot of times we're scared to be successful, and that's including me.
Mm.
And it's just like we just got to do it because if we got the talent, it's no sense to waste the talent. Let's use what we got because we don't need to fear. Because if you never lose, then you won't know how to win.
Mm. Oh, that's heavy. I like that. And yeah,
Shit.
I know you were sharing that, like, for everyone, but I feel like
Hmm.
you were talking directly to me
Hey.
because it is some stuff yeah, I need to go on and do. I've been kind of
Yeah,
contemplating and yeah, that just kind of solidifies it right there.
yeah, let's push on, and um our dad told me that procrastination runs in our family.
Yes.
And when he told me that, I was like, okay, all right, that's where I get it from then. So like other people might think you and I and Bree as well, like think like, well, okay, they successful in doing what they doing. That's cool. But what they don't know is we supposed to be beyond where we at now.
Yeah.
And I know this for a
Absolutely.
fact without you even telling me.
Yeah.
It's what we got genetically. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So just think, if what we doing now, if we really like take the scared part out and just push it, man, we'll be on a whole nother level.
Yep. 100%. I agree with you. And yeah, I'm definitely guilty because I just saw recently, let me see. It says, eventually you'll realize that waiting for the perfect moment is just another form of procrastination. So it's
Yes.
like, okay, well, no, I got to tweak this. It's got to sound like this
Yes.
and that. And
Yeah.
that'll just let you just keep putting it off. And, you never know who's waiting for it.
Yeah. You never
Especially,
know.
yeah, if you feel compelled to make anything creative, that means that it's somebody out there that needs to receive it. So anytime that we don't actually deliver, we're kind of doing a disservice to ourselves as well as whoever it's intended for. So yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh wee. Yeah. This was supposed to be an interview, not making me realize some stuff, but I appreciate that.
Oh yeah, everything happens for a reason.
Absolutely. I know exactly what it is too.
Mhm.
So yeah. It's okay. You've always got stuff going and flowing. Do you have anything, I guess, intended in the immediate pipeline that we should be looking for? Or, you just got it mapped out? Do we have to wait a little bit? I'm not trying to make you spill any secret sauce or anything or what you got
Oh,
going on, but
um, well, I'm gonna tell you what's in the pipeline. So, of course, working with the clothing line, but what I also want to do, like, I'm getting into writing, so I'm thinking about a movie. So I'm
mm,
thinking about GFM the movie and just go to the beginning of that and start this. So um, I started writing that. Actually, I'm writing two because it's another project that I got going too, and I just want to get into. I believe I can direct, produce. I believe I can do anything because anything I put my
yeah,
hands to, I could do it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
absolutely. Yeah, you
just
can.
with if you put your mind to it and you want to do it, because even if you go back to editing your own videos and stuff like that, that's something you didn't know how to do and you had to learn how to do it.
Right.
So you can do other things. So me watching Sinners, it like put myself like, okay, keep working on the projects that you get going. So like I said, I have two. So with those projects, of course, you're gonna have to have music and fashion.
Yeah,
So that should help with the clothing line, and I want you to help as well as with the soundtracks, and we just get it, what I'm saying, get it popping all the way around
absolutely. Whatever you need, I got you.
for sure.
Definitely. Well, that's exciting. Yeah, I can't wait to watch how everything turns out. I know it's gonna be magnificent. Especially doing two at once. But if anybody can do it, I know you can.
And it just came, and like I said, the stuff popped in my head, and I just get started on it. And by the way, I did see the video yesterday with Jamel in it.
Yes, yes.
That was cool.
Yes, and for the listeners who may not be aware, that's my husband who just did his first short film for the Kazoo 48. And man, let me tell you, just the work that he put into that. So it had to be done in 48 hours. They sent
Wow.
the email that Friday at 6 p.m. You had to
Mm.
have it submitted by Sunday at 6 p.m.
Wow,
So
that's
yeah,
cool though.
right. So, I mean, I can't even tell you the type of anxiety that I would have had trying to do that.
Right.
But I mean, he handled it so gracefully. I mean, maybe a couple hours sleep for that entire weekend, but he worked so hard and
That like
it turned out so great.
that makes character, and then it make you change your game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Goes back to what we talked about with procrastination. You can't procrastinate with 48 hours to do a project.
Right.
You got to do it.
Exactly. So like even working on the music, he was actually working on the film while I was doing that part,
Right.
like yeah.
It's crazy.
So yeah, but it's something that they've been doing in Kalamazoo for a while. I
Hmm.
really wasn't that aware of it. Like I think I kind of heard the name around, but didn't really know what was
What
involved in
is
it. But
right?
yeah, I mean it's a lot of work, but especially be able to watch it on the big screen. I thought that was really special. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I bet you that was nice.
yeah.
almost like a film festival type thing.
Yeah, it was. And Kalamazoo's got a lot of talent in many different ways. So it's just kind of cool to see, just like a big old melting pot. Because I mean, to be honest, it's not like it's a whole lot of other things to do. It's
Right,
either sports or arts here. So,
right, right.
like yeah. But
Yeah. Hmm.
well, I mean, you were
Yeah.
here for a while before
Yeah.
moving. So
And
yeah.
you know what? It's a movie I watched about 2 or 3 months ago. Can't remember his name. I'm sorry, people, but just look for him. He's from Kalamazoo. And the movie, I'm sitting up watching the movie, and I'm in awe that almost got me in tears. The
Mhm.
guy, father was on drugs, and he was an artist, and I want to say he's like 49 years old. But it's a movie, and the movie was so good, and so it just had me look him up. When I looked up, said he was from Kalamazoo. I was like, oh man, that's awesome. And he is a artist. Matter of fact, he did when the police had man, he did, it was a time piece, and he drew the art for the Time magazine on this
Wow.
particular article. Yeah, but he's from Kalamazoo, and I get him the name to you later. I just, I can't remember right now, but he's from Kalamazoo, so it's a lot of talent out of Kalamazoo.
Yeah, absolutely. And like it's kind of nice to be immersed in it. So like
Hmm.
I was always into music and some of the other creative stuff,
Hmm.
but I feel like being here and kind of growing up here kind of helped cultivate that.
Right.
Like kind of
Agree.
being immersed in it, if you will.
I agree.
Um, yeah, because I put my time in at open mics a lot when I kind of got deeper into the music, and I was kind of grateful for the platform before kind of branching off to some other places. But
Hmm.
yeah, man, so yeah, I'm really excited to check out what you're working on. If you need somebody to kind of take a look at the script before you're ready to film, let me know.
Okay, for sure.
That's just because I'm being nosy and excited and want to see it as soon as I can.
I
But
want you to be up on it anyway.
yeah, all right.
Yeah.
So okay, well, especially talking about that and with soundtracks,
Okay.
since we love music, love movies, TV. What are some of the best soundtracks that you think of? Like if you had to name like maybe a top 5 all time.
Dead Presidents,
Mm,
most definitely. There's nothing like Dead Presidents. That is an awesome double CD. That was a double CD project. I love that because I like all the old school music they had on it, like Isaac Hayes, and Isaac Hayes, that's a Memphis native. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? So and amongst other people, it's just I just love that soundtrack. So okay, New Jack City.
Mm,
That was
yeah.
that was the '90s hip hop. What's that? New Jack Swing type vibe.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we're gonna say New Jack City. Dead Presidents. Man, I have to. You know what? I'm gonna throw something in there that I'm gonna throw in the wood as well. I'm gonna throw
Okay.
in the wood because the wood laid a platform of this young man moving from one side of the country to the next side where he was from the
Yeah.
country. He went, what I'm saying, to the West Coast, and it was a total different lifestyle. But how the music that they chose to play at the times throughout the movies, it brought back memories, and that's what it was supposed to do. So
Yeah.
that's why I have to say the wood as well.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Yeah. So yeah, that's three. I had to think
You
about
know what?
that.
That's one of the things that I kind of appreciated about Friday. Since
Yeah.
that soundtrack had some new stuff on it, but they threw in some of the old school
Oh
stuff
yeah,
too.
yeah.
Like,
The Isley brothers. They had the Isley
yeah,
brothers on there. Yeah,
Rick
yeah,
James. Like,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay, yeah. You can put that. You can make that my number four. Cause
Okay.
it's so many. It's just so much you could pick from. But those four, I can say those four all the time. What about you?
Yeah. Man, I got so many because soundtracks used to be my thing.
Hmm.
Especially buying CDs. I had that little bitty job at the library. Might have had like $30 every 2 weeks. So I was trying to stretch my money. And that was the best way to get the most bang for your buck. Was just buying soundtracks. And then you had a whole bunch of different artists, various artists. Yeah. Sunset Park was one of my favorites.
That was
Minister Society. For sure.
See, I forgot about that. That's in there for me too.
Yeah, and you know what? Even the first Nutty Professor soundtrack I thought was kind of dope too. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, you know what else? I listen to it all the time because I listen to Tupac's song on there called "Pain." Above the ring. Above the ring.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
SWV. Pop. Oh yeah. That was a nice soundtrack.
That soundtrack was killer. I mean, yeah. That's definitely top 5 of anybody who came up in the 90s loving movies.
Yeah, that was
sure. Yeah. Absolutely.
And I do like it's not on my top list, but I do like the Waiting Exhale soundtrack.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that was nice.
Oh, you know what? I'm tripping. Boomerang.
Oh man, I'm tripping too. I'm tripping too. Remember I told you I watched that movie at least twice a year.
Yes. Yeah. Man, that soundtrack was so good. Yes. And it had something for everybody. Like,
yes. They hated on that movie too.
Really? Man, it was so good. But you know, I think sometimes when people don't know that, how can I say this delicately? They don't know that something's not necessarily for them and that they're not really meant to understand it.
Right. That's right.
Like, yeah, you got to recognize when you're not the target demographic for something. Like, it don't mean it's bad. It just means that wasn't necessarily for you.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the truth.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
Because that movie was dope. Dope movie, dope soundtrack.
Yes. All the way around. Everything on there.
Yes. So, okay. I know now this time we got the soundtracks done. I think we did the top artists, like some of your favorite or influential ones. Yeah. But now that since you mentioned like the Wait and the Exhale, what about R&B? You got any like top favorites?
That's that of all time or what's going on right now?
All time.
All time R&B. Man, I ain't gonna lie. R. Kelly's up there. I just, talent. Just as to have the mind. Somebody that's writing for Michael Jackson. I mean, come on now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you wrote for Michael Jackson, what else should I say?
Right.
So
I've had a guest on here a few times, Fabian James, and he actually worked with him on Chocolate Factory. I think that album. Yeah.
Yes, I mean, you know, that's incredible. R. Kelly. I used to like. I like not used to. I mean, like Babyface because Babyface was so talented. Just like he wrote every song on Waiting Exhale.
Yeah.
So like, what mind state do you have to where you just constantly spitting out these songs writing for everybody on earth?
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everybody.
You know, watching him and Teddy Riley when they did their verses. The second time, not the one that went wrong.
Yeah.
But that one was one of my favorites just because, you know, like hearing all those songs back to back as they're going back and forth. I'm like, a lot of this stuff shaped a good chunk of my childhood.
Yeah.
So it's like these two men were responsible for what, like 90% of the hits.
Yeah.
around that time frame. And because I mean it's great to be able to do it for yourself, but when you can do it for others, man.
Yeah. And people not even know you involved in it.
Right. Because there was a few of them that popped up in there and I'm like, oh, you know what? I can hear that sound. Like, yeah.
Yep. I seen a video and it was like Babyface was by himself and he did a concert of songs that he wrote. That's all he did. He didn't do anything that he sung before. He just sung songs that he wrote. And I can't remember all of them, but you know, it's just like, I was like, oh man, he wrote that because a lot of them I didn't know he wrote.
Yeah. Yeah, that versus was mind blowing for me. I know it was a lot of people who probably knew all that stuff, but
Mm.
yeah, it was a lot of them that I'm like, okay, yeah, no, I can hear that, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Just like you said, just those two people right there.
yeah,
And also I gotta say, Jodeci. You know,
yes,
again, fashion. Look at
yep.
the fashion. You know what I'm saying in the music.
Because for the longest they called them Jodeci boots,
Yeah,
as
yeah,
if they
yeah. You got
invented them.
Jodeci
Like,
boots.
yeah, go there, get them Jodeci boots. Yeah.
I sure went and got me some. I think they were high tech boots.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, high tech boots. Yeah, I had got a pair. I had to scrape up that money to get them because they wasn't back then. That wasn't cheap. It was, I think they were like about $90, and
Mm.
$90 wasn't easy to come by.
No, not back then. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, kind of like now, but yeah.
right. Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. Again, not to date myself, but yeah, chick getting a little long in the tooth, but but yeah, good times, good music. Yeah, you
Yes.
named some stellar people right there.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's always more because you get now I will say all time favorite artists because I don't consider Michael Jackson and Prince R&B.
mm,
Like I don't even know what you want to call it,
yeah,
but
no, they
R-
transcended for sure.
yeah, but Luther Vandross, that's my
Oh,
guy.
yeah. Oh
Number
my
one,
goodness. Yeah.
number one.
Yeah, he can make you feel anything he sung. Like,
It was nothing. I know you saw that clip where they was singing the song him, Dionne Warwick, and Whitney Houston. They was all up
yeah.
there, and he was like, "Oh, okay, y'all think okay?" And man, he did that. Man, I'm telling you, look,
Yes.
yeah, that's my number one.
Man. Yeah. Phenomenal talent.
Yes.
Phenomenal. Yeah. And yeah, a lot of his music was a part of my childhood too. Like,
Yeah. Then you got
yeah.
music in your head that, you was like, man, where does this come from? But comes from Pops, you know what I'm saying? The music
Yep.
he listened to. So, that's why I like Blue Eyed Soul right now. I love Hall and Oates,
Oh yeah.
and like music like that, cause like if you just listen to that music, it's like you can't tell those two white guys.
No, and what's his name too? I think I was like an adult before I found out about Bobby Caldwell.
Right.
I was
Very
like, wait,
talented.
what?
Yeah. That Blue Eyed Soul.
Yeah,
You
like my
know?
whole childhood, I thought, yeah, he was a black dude. But I was watching a
That's it.
documentary where they said that they had done that on purpose. Like that's why he wasn't on the cover. They didn't want you to
Yep.
like
Yep.
just enjoy the music.
Yep.
Yeah,
Just like
yeah,
now, Bobby Caldwell, I know some of his music, but is What People Do, is that one of his songs?
yeah.
Okay, so What People Do, then Tupac sampled that
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
jammed on it.
For real. With what's his name from Blackstreet? I can't even think of.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, him. Can't think of his name either.
yeah.
But yeah, but yeah, that's good music. And I got that on my I got I got YouTube music, which I love very much because you can get things on YouTube music that you might not be able to get from Spotify and Apple Music. So that's
Okay.
why I like YouTube music so much.
And YouTube pays their artists better, so yes.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So
Yes.
yeah, so I got you, man. Like when I got married, that's what I created my music, the music for the DJ. I did that
Really?
on my YouTube music account. So all I did was create it in my account, then send it to the DJ. He called me and said, "Man, you on top of it?" And I'm like, "Yeah."
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome wedding, by the way. So much
Nah,
fun at that reception.
yeah, it was fun.
Yes. So yeah, thank you for coming and sharing your experience, the stuff that you're working on, and these music culture conversations are fun. So I'm glad that we get
Yeah,
to have a part two. I hope we get to do a part three sometime soon.
cool. We'll make
And
that.
yeah, um, so yeah, be on the lookout for that, everybody listening. But before I let you go, I want to make sure that everyone knows exactly where they can find you, follow you, check out everything that you got going on, music, fashion, everything.
Okay. Be looking for us online, Lux G Gutierrez. We got the website. That's about to come up. And so for now, with Instagram and everything, I got to get it all together because I had to change names and stuff around. So I got that information. So what I do is I'll send it to you. So when you post this, it'll you can post that as well.
Okay.
Okay.
I will definitely do that.
On everything at once.
All right. And if you have any other advice, you dropped some gems earlier about not procrastinating, but yeah, any thoughts you kind of want to leave the listeners with?
um, just my main thing is about right now is like mental health and because it's messed up out here. So my thing is for people that's going through that's not talking to people, find you somebody that you can talk to. Because it's a lot of going on. That's affecting us, our color more now than it used to in the past. Because you could say back in the day you knew it wasn't us, but nowadays it is. They crashing out,
Yeah.
and and it's a mental issue. It's not just um, saying about days and times and YNs are crazy. It's literally like people have mental health issues and they're not talking about it. And
Right.
then we seeing the outcome when they crash out. So, just talk to somebody. It never hurts. It feels better to if you got somebody that you can talk to.
Yes. All right. Well, thank you so much for that. That's so true. May
Well,
is Mental Health Awareness Month, so
hey,
right on time with that.
I'm saying.
All right. Well, yeah, I just want to thank you again, and I'm already looking forward to next time. I appreciate you, and yeah, love you.
All right, love you too.
All right, and that's a wrap for this episode of Instrumental Intel. I've been your host, music producer, Chick with Beats. Once again, I'd like to thank you for tuning in and listening. Of course, I want to thank my special guest, my brother, artist, producer, writer, designer, Shaun, for coming through again for this wonderful conversation and sharing his story. I'd like to thank my home station, Grander Radio out of Grand Rapids, Michigan. And I'm already looking forward to next week. I'll be back with more goodness for you. So make sure you come find me. So, till next time, tune in, tell a friend. I'll see you then. Peace.